Bama na-egenti daalụ niile nkunu sikwa wee na-esoro anyị na-eme n'ilu akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke taata bụ 31st of December 2023 ya ngwụcha ọnwa nke ọnwa December 2023 so ya taa ka ahụ chịkọta so anyị na-asịka Chukwu oke abịa ma onye dị n'anyị ndụ site famu ọnwa nke izizi n'ọnwa nke ikpeazụ n'ọnwa December 2023 n'ọnwa 2023 n'arọ 2023 na-eweli iwe anyị na-asịka Chukwu oke abịa ma ekene dịrị ya n'ihe niile ise dịka o si dị ewetara unu ozi anyị na-akpọ morning tea from the Biafran Prime Minister of Biafran Republic Government in Exile onye isi bụ Simon Ekpa ọ dị fokwu n'iru akwụkwọ draw your attention anyị si na mba na anyị ga-eti iru na ya nke unu ga-ya bụ ife maka na ọ bụ nkwa kwuru na ga-ewetara unu update ọ bụla bụ gbasara maka ife na-eme n'ala Igbo dịka ihe ga-ya bụ ife dochasia ntị ọfụma ga-egesie ya ọ ya amasị anyị na ịdrọpụ kọmentị gị and share kwa ya ka ndị ọzọkwa wee nụkwa. Alright, over to you, sir.
Institutionalization, Declaration of Independence, or you can say institutionalizing Declaration of Independence of Biafra and commitment Declaration of Independence of Biafra. Now, I told you all before now, that we are using what we call multi-dimensional approach to get Biafra freedom. And a lot of people do not understand what multi-dimensional approach means. Now, I want to tell you why Biafra failed first in 1967 to 1970. Because in order for you to make progress, you need to know the mistake of your past. And this mistake of our past is something that Simon Ekpa have studied for years. Even when I was still part of One Nigeria, I went deep for many years to look for what went wrong, how we can get it right. And while I was doing that, I was a die-hard One Nigeria until I was convinced that it is time to come for Biafra. And when I joined the Biafra struggle in 2019, between August and October 2019, for those who followed me then, I called on the Nigeria evil state that it is time they bring out their best. I don't know how many people will remember that. Now, from what has happened so far, Biafra declaration in 1967 to 1970 was based on declaration with grievances. And it is not enough. Declaration of Biafra with just grievances is not enough to dissolve a complex and evil entity like Nigeria. So we needed to bring the declaration with a multi-dimensional approach using three genera. And this subgenre is the declaration by grievances, declaration by institutionalization, and then declaration by commitment. And these three subgenre, which we have used so far to bring the result you see today, is what I'm going to explain to you people, how we have achieved it, and how this has actually restored Biafra. What is remaining is the declaration of Biafra and as an independent state to defend it. Before we do that, we have to set up every institution of government. We have to make sure that we meet the international standard of recognition. Even though powerful nation has not openly and officially recognized Biafra, but we have attained the status of that recognition by demonstrating our capability to maintain a sane society. Now, before going forward, I will have to go to borrow something from some scholars. And I am going to borrow something from a man called Alexandra Pavkovic and Krugro Krastonok. These are two scholars, researchers. And I'm going to delve into one of their briefs. And I want every Biafran to listen to this. You need to understand what you are doing in order to get results. So, for those who are asking about the Biafra Declaration, I want you to first of all understand what is independent declaration or declaration of independence. And let us go to what these scholars have to say. Now the question is, what are the declaration of independence? And what does it mean to achieve? The declaration of literally succeeding state since their birth in 1776. I want everyone to understand that the birth of Declaration of Independence can be said to have started from 1776, United States of America Declaration. That is what gave birth and what gave the power, the international power and international law to what America is doing today started as far back as 1776. And nobody in this world will say Samonekpa is doing something wrong. And that's why many people do not understand the mathematics that we are playing here. You can never solve it. But I want people to listen, especially those who have delved into Biafra freedom for many years ignorantly, and there is nothing to show for it. And I want you to see why we have done something within 1 year and you see the result you are seeing today. And that is to show you, in 2024, we are coming with earthquake. I want everybody to listen. Now, this seceding state, since their birth in 1776, with the United States Declaration of Independence, have had at least two interrelated objectives. One, the objective of delegitimization of the existing host state that rules over the ceding territory. And this can be seen in some cases like in the Nadine 2015, and this is page 100. And of course, the second thing is the legitimization of the new state, the emergent state, which is ceding from the existing one. I want you to understand that now, from this particular international contextual view, we have started the legitimization of the Nigeria state, which we have pronounced and started enforcing. Also, we have at the same time started the legitimization of Biafra state within Biafra land. So there is two key words here: the legitimization of the Nigeria state and legitimization of the Biafra government, which is the new state. We have actually implemented that. We have started the legitimization of the Nigeria state within Biafra land by constantly embarking on civil disobedience of Monday sit at home. That is why I insisted that come rain, come sun, we must continue the sit at home. It is not just about only to release Mazen Nnamdi. It is to delegitimize the Nigeria government within Biafra land for the world to know that they no longer have the loyalty and enjoy the loyalty of the Biafra people. That we have proven beyond every reasonable doubt in the whole world. And nobody as of today will come in between us and say that we are not legitimate government of the Biafra people. We have been able to prove that. The news are everywhere. So in the issue of the delegitimization, this is just one example. We have also been able to secure our people by forming security outfit and forming Biafra army, and this is part of the delegitimization of the Nigerian government within Biafra land, because our people no longer enjoy the security of the Nigerian government, and we have been able to prove that, irrespective of the fact that there has been a lot of sabotage and blackmail in order to give us a bad name, give them a bad name and kill it. But still, it is not working, because we have overpowered their media, we have overpowered them militarily, both in the air, in the sea, and in the land. So the delegitimization has worked. Now, we are talking about legitimization of the Biafra government within Biafra land, which I don't need to, because everything I'm saying now is for you to know the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing and why we have succeeded this way we have succeeded so far. The cry of the Nigerian military is also a proof of how we have delegitimized them. This is coming from the United States of America, 1776. And let us continue to read. Now, I have identified key two issues, which is delegitimization of existing host state, that rules over the ceding territory, in this case, Nigeria, that is ruling over the ceding territory, which is Biafra, and the legitimization of the new emergent state, which is the Biafra de facto government, as it is today, which is ceding from the existing one, which is Nigeria. Now, the three different subgeneri is one, listing grievances. America, while they were declaring the independence in 1776, listed their grievances. Why they are so mad with Britain, why they are so angry against Britain, and they listed their grievances, and with these grievances, they declared their independence in 1776. Now, listing the grievances, injustices, and harm suffered by the population of the emergent state. Now, we are using multidimensional approach. So our declaration of Biafra is also include also the declaration by grievances. Now we have listed many grievances of the Nigeria state, of the against Biafra by the Nigeria state. We have informed the international community. We have written officially to the United Nations, to the European Union, to the US, to African Union. We have written everybody, and it is not even a hidden thing how the injustice that are being meted against Biafrans in Nigeria. Everybody is talking about it, including Nigeria themselves. So, the declaration this time is also grievances inclusive. Without these particular mechanisms and all these measures, you can never be taken serious. When you do something, you are going to get into trouble. So, we have been able to prove our case beyond reasonable doubt. Now, fast forward. The grievances are injustices against Biafra, harm suffered by Biafra people, Biafra population, and then, of course, the emergence of the new state. Has been the standard way of delegitimizing the existing state and legitimizing the new state. So, as in the 1776 US Declaration, the new state is presented as the only remedy to listed grievances. So now, while America was declaring, they listed their grievances against the British colonies. And they listed those grievances and declared their state that it is the only thing that will remedy these grievances they have listed so far is for them to declare their independence. The same thing we have done today is that everybody, we have been able to expose Nigeria to the whole world. The impunity of Nigeria's state, and we are presenting our government as the only solution, as the only remedy to this particular impunity, terrorism that is going on in Nigeria, like they are killing people from north, from south, and everywhere. And the only solution to it is what we are doing now. And so, any nation that will come against us will fall. Any nation that will lay their hand on Simon Ekpa automatically will end. Believe me, the spirit that guides the sea will invade that nation. Because what I'm doing today is according to international law. And we have done it very perfectly well. And a lot of people don't understand. I'm just giving you small secret so that you know where we are coming from. So we have been able to declare Biafra in 2023 by listing the grievances, exposing the grievances of Biafrans to the world, and also presenting alternative. The alternative is the Biafra government. And that is why we have been able to build the government from scratch, making sure it meets every international standard. Do you understand that people that are ruling Nigeria today are not Nigerians? There is no way you can know that they are not Nigerians because there is no database. Tinubu is not a Nigerian. Tinubu is not from Nigeria. A lot of people don't know this. Tinubu is from one of African countries. He's not a Nigerian. Shetima is not a Nigerian. All these people that are ruling Nigeria today, from Babangida to Abacha, these people are not Nigerians. But because Nigeria has no database, their identity, their background are not traceable. So, because of this, we are presenting a better option for a better society, for Africa as a whole. So we start Biafra is going to bring civilization. Our civilization is that we are presenting a government that is going to be deep-rooted from a background check of everybody by building a very strong database system for Biafra people. Biafra government in exile has presented a better alternative over Nigeria. And that is completely what international standard means. We have been able to beat that standard. And today, Biafra government has launched the database system and of course, the national identification card and national identity of Biafra people. And that is the highest standard you can take off today from the international community. Now, we continue by also bringing the remedies not only on this database, but also the remedy on security. That is the reason why we formed the Biafra Liberation Army, Biafra Resistance Fighters, and every other armed forces of Biafra in order to present a better security for our people. Irrespective of whatever name they are calling you, cannibalism, practicing this one and that, it does not move us because it is the government work to also try to delegitimize what we are doing. But it doesn't move us because we know what we are doing. That's why it is good to follow who know road. Because if you do not follow who know road, you will fall into pit. However, in the process of dissolution of the USSR and Yugoslavia from 1990 onward, a number of federal and sub-federal units abandoned the objective of delegitimization of the old hosts in their declaration or act of independence. So some people, some nations even got their independence without delegitimizing the hosting state. They still got their independence. But like I said, Nigeria is a very complex and a very evil entity. So you needed somebody who is well learned in this particular subject to be able to disintegrate Nigeria. You need a special wisdom from God. That's what God has bestowed on me and many of you who see and trusted in me that indeed there is something in this guy. And today you are very proud to be part of this particular movement because of what God has put in you to see what other people did not see. So the praise here goes to you who, irrespective of everything they have done, because when the good people are coming, evil will fight. Irrespective of all the names they called me, you believe that I have something to offer. And today you can see you did not disappoint yourself. Now, there are people that have gotten independent without the declaration by not delegitimizing the hosting state. But today, we are using the delegitimization of Nigeria state. Now, those countries are as follows. While it is very difficult to establish the reason which led to this, which led to why people did not, why some nation or some country did not legitimize their hosting state at the time of this declaration. The existing federal state was no longer perceived as a functional state, which was capable of asserting its legitimacy to rule over the ceding territory. Exactly what is happening now in Biafra land. The governors have tried everything to stop the Biafra government sit at home and narrative. It is not working. It means that they have actually lost everything to continue to be parading themselves as governors. And we are coming to them in 2024. And that's why it is very difficult for them to come close to me. This is what they don't know. So I'm trying to give them some kind of sense today, especially to those Igbo governors who think they are still sitting in the hem of affair in Biafra land, thinking that 2024, there is one button or the other they are going to press over Simon Ekpa and succeed. Believe me, I am closer to you than you can ever be close to me. And 2024, it is going to be completely a very different ballgame. If after this particular explanation today and our achievement today, as a governor in the southeast, you continue to shout one Nigeria, believe me, you will die and nothing will happen. I want everybody to understand this. You will die and nothing will happen. And next year, it is going to happen. Now, this is apparent from the foundational constitutional charter of the Republic of Slovenia. They did not declare by legitimizing the whole state. is issued at the same time as its Declaration of Independence, which its preamble notes that the Slovenia no longer function as a new governed state capable of resolving the current political and economic crisis. Slovenia Charter 1991. So, what we are presenting to the world from 2023 is that Nigeria is no longer capable of resolving its security challenges and issues. And Biafra government have a better solution. We have been able to prove that. That's why the killings are happening everywhere. Only in Biafra land that military are killing, not Fulani terrorists. We have been able to prove that we have a better option to protect our land, our people, our women and children than the Nigeria state. We have been able to prove that. Have we not proven that? The question is left for those who have doubted us to answer. Now, remember, I am laying foundation to why the world will support Biafra in 2024. I am one Nigeria rigirigi. Believe me. Because we have every right to defend ourselves and use everything in our own disposal. Moreover, these two federations have been ruled by their respective communist party. This party and their leaders were held accountable for the harms and injustices committed to the population of the city state. However, by the time the declaration were issued, these parties had been removed from power and were effectively dissolved. Now, I want us to go straight to, how this particular Biafra declaration we have achieved it in 2023. One could choose, argued, in consequences, the declaration of independence of several federal units and later of the sub-federal units, such as Abkhazia and Kosovo, of these two federal states, focused in some cases exclusively on the legitimization of the new state. You see, some countries focus on only legitimizing the new state. Remember that now we have been using two different mechanisms: delegitimization and legitimizing the Biafra. And some states have gotten independent by only using one, which is delegitimization, and some people have gotten independent by only using one, which is legitimizing their new government. Now we have done two at a time. With one stone, we are killing two birds. That's why the progress and the success you see today are happening. There are many more that I'm not going to say today, but I just want to give you a background of what you have been following since that you don't know, and why nobody can touch me. And I'm saying it here. I want you to go and copy the video. They can never come close to me. Now let me go. Now, this was achieved. Thank you, Adada Rama Odirizi. This was achieved by announcing or establishing state institutions that were taking over state function of the old state. Exactly what Biafra has done today. We have announced new state institutions to take over the affair what Nigeria institution have been doing in Biafra land. In Biafra government, we have established department. We have been able to prove it. It is very functional, more functional than the Nigeria state. And so we are providing a new solution, a better solution, a very viable one that every Biafra who want to live should embrace. Our system in Biafra government today is more trustworthy than the Nigeria state, even when we are yet to declare independent. So I want everybody to understand that when they are asking you, Samuel, to declare Biafra, we have declared Biafra, but they don't know it. And when they will be telling you, when are you going to conduct referendum, my brother, as you are registering for Biafra database, you are already voting for the referendum. Just watch and see. Now, Helsinki, it is going to happen in Helsinki. Biafra will be declared in this country. Those who think that we don't know what we are doing should come now and get themselves educated on why I remain the unsolvable mathematics. Now, this declaration of independence were apparently expected to legitimize the new state of the type of others in non-communist state, which in turn were expected to recognize it. This kind of legitimization of the new state in a declaration of independence often culminate in the quest or in the request or appeal to other states and international organizations to recognize the independence of the new state. That is exactly what we are doing today, is making sure that at the end of the day from 2024, when we are going to cross one line, there is one line which I have drawn. Once we cross that line, our next move is to seek recognition. We are not seeking recognition yet. Is to seek the recognition of many states. And it is going to happen. All will not happen, and you pair Nigeria into two. First, we will start by pairing Nigeria into two. You are going to come back to this statement I made today when it will happen, because we are going to divide Nigeria into two. Remember, everything we are doing is to preserve our life, because we are getting killed every day. And we have come to end it. In view of the strategies of delegitimization and legitimization of the
dịka o si dị daalụ lideno igbo m na-ege ntị daalụ lideno ụmụ ife na ekunu si wee na-esoyere anyị n'ihe na-eme n'iru akwụkwọ dị iche iche. oke unu anụgo n'ihe Biafran prime minista kwuru, nke dị ka ibe ya bụ ka ife nwere ike ikwu gbasara maka ya bụ ife, maka this new development okwu gasị about some aircraft anti-aircraft dị iche iche ewebata. So ka ife nwere ike ikwu gbasara maka ya bụ ife dropụra ya on the commission bido nke ọdụzi ka ibe ya bụ ya bụkwa Eastern News 24 ka anyị si wee na-ewetara unu ozi ya dị oke mkpa ụmụnne m dịka o siri dara niile n'ụmụ Igbo. Ngwanụ ka emesịanụ.